Hello and welcome to another episode of Alex's Afternoon Art Show. Today we are going to be drawing Guile as part of the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 mural. And I'm so tired I might fall asleep during this one. But I'll try to get through it. It's only a 2-hour recording. You can probably hear it in my voice. I am very tired. But gotta do it. Gotta get it done. Anyways, roll the intro. Alright, here we are. I haven't added any more base sketches since last time. I really haven't had to because it's just not necessary at this point. I'll leave Cyclops on just as we go in here. I haven't had to because what I decided to do was that I decided to my brain's failing me. What I decided to do was my tablet's kind of lagging here. Give me a second. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, what I decided to do was I decided to stop once I did all the characters in the base roster of the game. So as we're going, we'll be adding the characters that we unlock in the Let's Play as we unlock them. I may have to adjust the shape of Guile's hair here because, as you can see, it's quite round, which I'm not too keen on. See, Guile's hair from the front is it's very difficult, and there's not much of an angle going on here, so it's kind of. Let me have a look at the reference here. Let me see what I can find here, because like even all the art of him in the game is side profile, and a lot of Guile's art is profile. So this is the thing. It's hard to kind of. To be honest, this is kind of what. Yeah, this is kind of what it looks like from the front. If maybe it needs to be a slight bit flatter, but there's like a slight up tilt, so to be honest, it kind of should have that roundness to it. Yeah, I suppose that is actually kind of appropriate, bizarrely enough. But anyways, I may as well turn off these other characters. We don't need them on right now. I'll turn them back on later, I think. But yeah, so open this folder, make a detail. My mic will probably fall over a few times during the video because it's fighting me here. Because I dropped it earlier on and now it's not standing up properly. So I finally got it to stand up properly after about 20 minutes of trying earlier on. And it feels like it can fall. It's going to fall at any moment here. So I'll try and mute the audio for you, dear viewer, so you don't get deafened anytime that happens. But yeah. I don't think I have any more kind of foregrounding to say. Actually, yeah, there is one thing. I don't know what I'm going to do with the patterning on Guile's trousers, because his trousers have obviously military camo on them. So what I might just do is, whenever I get to it, I might just literally just do like coloured squiggles on it, basically. It's the only thing I can think of to do anyways, because there's a very specific 3 colours that they have in the art for the game. So yeah, we'll see what the story is here. comes to Guile's musculature, I used a very similar kind of mentality as what I had with Ryu, where I said, okay, yeah, he's going to be pretty buff, because Guile's supposed to be really buff, but he's not going to be like Hulk size. I do still have to do Zangief, and he's big. This is the thing, Guile is still supposed to be kind of man-shaped, and this is the kind of thing, is that in order to kind of keep him that size, to keep him kind of human man shaped, he can't be too huge. But yeah, this vest is also supposed to be unearthly tight, because I can see every element of his muscle definition through it, so I don't think we'll be seeing any wrinkles here going on this vest. Yeah, we'll leave the wrinkles for his trousers. But yeah, I do still have to draw that bloody tattoo, which means I need to have some vague idea of how the American flag looks, which I don't. Well, I know how it looks, but I don't know anything really about its design. I've never had to draw it before. But yeah. Yeah. The thing is here with the kind of the musculature, a lot of this, in order to kind of sell it, a lot of what we got to do here is we've got to kind of, again, we've got to put in realistic stretch lines, and that's what it's got to look like. It's got to look like stretch lines, because the muscle is causing the skin to stretch and bulge in ways that aren't perfectly natural, because let's face it, back in the day, whenever muscle would have been incredibly useful in the wild, most people would have actually been kind of fat, because there would have been water weight and everything involved. Whenever you're this kind of buff, it's not very useful muscle, and that's because it's show muscle. And also, a lot of the people who get this kind of muscle dehydrate, and that's also terribly unhealthy. But in order to kind of get this kind of muscle, where I can even see it in the reference here, where he's got the vein bulging, you don't get that unless you're severely dehydrated. And yeah, it's just your fun little health fact of the day, I suppose. Well, I don't think the American flag here is 100% accurate, but it'll do. You know, I also feel like a character like Guile is kind of weird. I've always found the kind of the nature of Street Fighter characters very weird. Primarily, well, the kind of stereotype aspect. Because I mean, with Guile, he's the American stereotype of where he's the American military guy. Where he's got his big flat top, his impractically large flat top. He's got his American flag tattoo. He only walks around in vaguely combat gear. He's got his dog tags on all the time, and yeah, he's got impractically tight vests. So this is the thing, it's kind of weird. I don't know, I feel like certain styles of Street Fighter design appeal more to me. Typically the non-racist designs, they're the good ones. But yeah, like you get stuff like Guile every now and then, or it's a very iconic design. I don't really like it that much. Like, I'm a big fan of how they design the Shotos, so that's Ryu, Ken, Akuma, all those characters. I'm a big fan of that design, that's very iconic. And it's also just good solid design, and also a very easy way to reuse sprite work. But, yeah, I've always just kind of been a big fan of how those characters look, more so for characters like Guile and Zangief and again the racist ones. But yeah, it's kind of weird. I've been kind of always very kind of torn on Street Fighter design, because again, you get some very iconic stuff, like you get characters like Ryu and Chun-Li, who are two of the most famous video game characters ever made. But then you get the weird situations of stuff like DJ, or I think Balrog is also a very, also known as Boxer, is a very kind of famous design. That one is a very iconic design as well, but that's very simple. And again, that's where Street Fighter designs work very well, whenever they are very simple. But by God, if you've ever seen their original designs for characters like Balrog and DJ, like DJ is already kind of skirting the line in some ways, but it's primarily a voicing thing, though, I think in some instances, I don't know. But yeah, like their original designs for characters like Balrog, Blanca, and DJ, you can probably still see them. They're really bad. They're not good. They're really not good. I'm shocked they even got through it all. I don't know who approved those. Well, no one approved them. They never got through, really. They were stopped mercifully. Because yeah, Jesus Christ, if that got out into the real world, God knows what kind of a state we'd be living in. They certainly wouldn't have gotten away with half as much as they have since then. Okay, so that's the details on Guile. I'll prepare everything here for our dots, and I'll take a 5-minute break, as I have gotten used to doing now, primarily because my back gets very tired from doing these, particularly with the lines, because I have to lean in and kind of focus, so my back gets quite tired from doing that, from trying to keep still while I'm doing that stuff. Yeah, it really tires out my back. But yeah, a few minutes and then I'm kind of back to normal. So, be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back from my little break. It's time to do our dots. Again, I kind of don't really have a huge amount to say when it comes to Guile. Guile is not a character I have very much attachment to or knowledge of. So yeah, really, all I know is Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's it. Anyways, yeah, this pocket looks a little weird to me, but I don't think we're going to remove it. It is there. It is actually there in the reference image. It's just very hard to see. It might get hidden by some of the texturing later on, so we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll get hidden by a lot of the colouring, but yeah, we'll see what happens anyways. Ow, the mic fell over there, and it's still not quite posed up properly, so I'll just wait until the next time I'm speeding along before I go back to that. But anyways, we're on to our colours now. So, I can go back to my normal brush and make it just a little bit bigger. And yeah, with Guile, the colours probably won't take very long because he's got very simple colours all in all. And again, naturally, the kind of principles that I've been talking about all along of where you make the darkest part, like the boots, not actually a different colour, they're still the same green as the rest of him. for the most part. But yeah, the boots just make them a little bit kind of just make the shading on them a little darker because the material, naturally, the way the light hits it, because they're probably like a leather boot, the way the light hits them, the shading should be darker. Just kind of basic little bits like that. Little bits and things of vague kind of, I suppose, a degree of logic here and there. But yeah. Now Guile should probably have a bit more of an olivey tone to his skin because he should be tanned, being a military man. But yeah, we'll see what we do here. Okay, so that's Guile's colours done. I have to be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure what he's being camouflaged from by these trousers. I don't know where he's blending in, but this is the kind of the rough idea of what they have anyways. In the reference image that I have in front of me. Yeah, it's all kind of the same green. In this kind of, in Bengus's version anyways, it's all kind of the same green. Makes my life easier, so I'll roll with that. But yeah, so we've got our few tiny little bits left to do. We've got to do our shading. I've already got everything set up here for that. And then we've got to do the light line, and then we're done. And then that's it. And then I can finally stop being so tired maybe. Because boy oh boy am I exhausted today. Hence why I haven't really had much to say. It's mostly been tiredness. And then yeah, at the beginning of the video I was barely able to get out my opening statement. Not even that tired that I shouldn't be able to speak, but I'm sufficiently tired. Sufficiently tired that I can barely say sufficiently tired. Anyways. Alright, it's time to do the light line. We're nearly done now. We're at that point now where the sun's kind of going down. Also, the fact that my fan has been on is blowing my blinds into an uncomfortable position, so that it's kind of making it darker in here. There's also still children outside, so it's that if you've heard any of that little bit of noise throughout the video, that's probably what that was. But yeah. This light line and be done. So I need to make sure I put the light line in the right place. Yep, it's on the dark side. So I'm still not really used to doing that. Even though it's something that I do kind of all the time now. Still not really used to doing it. Yeah, we're nearly done. Nearly there. Now, there's Guile done. All done. Yeah, so I suppose we zoom out. I can turn off the background. I can close the folder. I can turn on Ryu. I can turn on Jill. I can turn on Wolverine. I can turn on Cyclops. So that's another one down. And yep, the colours look a little bit more diverse now that we've got Guile in there. So this is the thing, our colours are kind of popping even on a white background, which is good. That means all the colours are kind of coming out well, because yeah, they're coming out nice and juicy even on a white background. They don't need a particular colour to look anyway decent, which, as I say, that's very good, because that doesn't that'll at least kind of mesh well as we're going. But yeah, see, I don't really do closing thoughts on these, I suppose, because I don't need to, because we don't start out with goals or anything, with any particular kind of topics that I want to talk about or anything. But I just suppose that, like, I talked a little bit about musculature earlier on, I suppose, and that's something, I suppose, whenever you're drawing characters like this, that's an important thing to kind of, I suppose, be aware of, is to kind of know what you're doing when it comes to musculature. But yeah, I suppose I'll just kind of wrap up, and that's it. So, if you like the video, you can do what you normally do. I don't want to pressure you into anything. You can subscribe if you want. The button is there, you know where it is. And if you decide to watch the next video, I'll see you then. See, I actually remembered what the full outro was this time. It took me a second there. I had to pause for a moment just to remember it, but it did come to me, which is better than usual. But anyways, I will say goodbye. So without further ado, bye bye.